Oh, yeah, we're here. It's the return of Ralph Williams one-on-one. And I got some autograph for you there for Turn Up the Radio. And we're going to turn it up today here on Ralph Williams one-on-one. It's great to be here today. And I'm happy to have the return of this program, which I actually was a little disappointed in the fan base because when I had executive chef Brian Duffy on here and I only got 30 views. So I was a little frustrated with that. So I took it off and I decided to bring it back. It's time. 2024 is here, and it's time for RW Media to bring back Ralph Williams one-on-one. And my very first guest in the return is Harry BERG. Harry, how are you, man?
Harry the Greek.
I know, the Greek. Well, I was going to say the Greek.
How you doing, Ralph? How's it going, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you? How's everything going?
You know what? Just if I was any better, Ralph, I think I'd be you.
There you go. Harry, tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get started in broadcasting and covering Chicago and working in Tampa?
Wow. Actually, I got involved in radio back in the mid-'80s. I worked for 2 Arbitron-rated #1 radio stations here in the Tampa Bay area. One was 95.7, the other one was Q105. I used to do the Friday night hot mixes. Yes, I used to spin the turntables back then. And then my neighbor, which is, I think you remember him, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, covers all
Yes,
kinds
I
of
know
Tampa
Ray.
Bay sports,
Right.
invited me one time when they were on a different platform to go down to a really nice beach type of atmosphere bar, and they were doing pregame shows for the Buccaneers. And I kind of went in, filled in, started talking, and they kind of caught on to the fact that I was a professional handicapper, and they kind of asked me what I liked in the game. And there was one particular game that I didn't think the Buccaneers were going to do very well in. And
Right.
Peter Blake and Ray started asking me why, and I started giving reasons. And lo and behold, my predictions actually came true. And then they invited me back on, and that's how it started up again.
Oh, I see. You cover the Chicago Bears and the Chicago sports area there. How'd you get into that?
Well, just being a Chicago fan in general, being born and
Okay.
raised in the city of Chicago, then moving down here to finish my last years of schooling here in the Tampa area. Uh, I became friends with a couple of professional athletes, one being Roberto Hernandez, former closer
Right.
from the Chicago White Sox. My father played for the White Sox years and years ago. I've made connections throughout to Chicago with Mike North or Fat Mike or, you know, uh, yeah, Fred Hubner, from
Right.
ESPN 1000. And, I've been on a couple of different platforms, and occasionally they like to have a prognosticator come on, and then I just kind of give picks. We have a show called The Over Under.
Ah, okay. How's handicapping going? I mean, I know you're into handicapping. You and Peter Blake do a show on Sundays, and you have some other shows. You've been on my radio show, talk about some stuff. How's that going?
Phenomenal year again. I've been on a heater for 3 years. I don't even, it's borderline bragging when I tell you what I am against the spread. Uh, Seriously, it's upwards of over 70% this year against the spread in professional football. I'm not a really good handicapper in college. I'll kind of, consult with some other professionals and involve college basketball or even college football. It's hard enough to handicap a particular game. And I always say, man, you can't bet every game. You just can't be successful with it. So, if you're betting 5 or 6 games, that's a lot. Sometimes I'm only going to give 2 or 3 picks out in the course of a week. And I'm not a big person with believing in betting parlays. Straight money's where it's at.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a a sports gambler. I do go to the casino occasionally, but I play like penny slots or something, or I might play a poker,
I
one
I'd
of those
rather
poker machines.
I'd rather watch grass grow.
But you'd rather watch grass grow. There you go.
I also
That's
play a lot of horses. Um, I've always enjoyed pari-mutuel wagering. Probably that's my first passion is pari-mutuels with horses, and then it's sports handicapping.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. What are your thoughts this year on Chicago sports? What's the two baseball teams, the hockey and the Bears looking like
Well,
this year?
we'll start with the Blackhawks. They're an up
Okay.
and coming team. It's going to take a little while. Unfortunately, Connor Bedard's got a minor setback with getting a broken jaw. You just don't stick your face into something like that. I don't think he's ever going to do that again. He's an incredible young talent. As far as the Chicago Bulls are concerned, um, they're the Bulls. I mean, what else can I say? I mean, there's not enough parity in basketball, and it's not really a sport that I like to follow much anymore. I mean, I stopped really following basketball when the turn of the century hit because no one plays defense anymore.
Yeah, you're right. I
Let's just see
don't
who
follow
can
the
shoot the
NBA.
ball. Okay.
No.
Baseball, the lovable losers called the Chicago Cubs. There's a north side, there's a south side. I bet you know
Right.
what side I belong to, and it definitely
Yes,
is not the north side.
North
But
Side. Yeah.
no, I'm not a north sider. Okay. I'm a south sider, heart and heart. I love my White Sox, but as far as the Cubs, they got a really good team this year. They should make a lot of noise in that division. As far as the Chicago White Sox, I personally think they should have cleaned house. The last 4 or 5 years, you look at that lineup top to bottom, and you would have thought this team would have been unstoppable, when in the fact they were unstoppable from being in last place. It's just horrible the way they've been playing.
So they laid a
Um,
big
well,
egg.
no, they've laid some eggs, and they have a good nucleus. They have they're
Right.
strong up the middle. They got some decent pitching. They still have some sticks. They just needed a new manager and to get rid of a couple of players. And I think they'll be okay. Do I think they're winning the division? No, but I've seen stranger things happen. Now, as far as the Chicago Bears having that number one pick and multiple picks in the draft, Ralph, that's a different story.
That's a
That's
whole
exciting.
a
That's a
whole
whole different ball game. You
ball
know,
game.
if you're a Justin Fields fan, you want him to
Right.
trade that pick to Washington and then trade again one or two spots down and pick up 6 draft picks and 2 automatic players and build around the quarterback that you have. That's a wonderful place to be in.
Right.
They're not far away defensively, Ralph. They just
No.
need a little bit of help on the offensive line, and that's really about it. The team is actually pretty strong. It's a lot better than what people think.
Like you say in the mechanics business, it just needs some fine tuning.
That's it, baby. It just needs some fine tuning.
Some fine tuning. There you go. So, hey, Harry, how'd you meet Peter Blake? How did you and Peter Blake get hooked up?
Great question. Peter Blake, by the way, big shout out to him. He's just
Yes.
a
Great
consummate
guy.
gentleman
Yes.
and a consummate professional in his
He's going to
in
be on
his
my radio
career.
show next Tuesday.
Oh, that you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to get
Yeah.
that.
He's gonna
Bring
be on,
your passion,
yeah, I
bring
know.
your excitement.
Excitement.
Just
He's
and
going to be
I
on my
always
radio
say,
show.
Ralph, bring all that nonsense.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
love when he goes, the Rolex reporter. How did I get involved with Peter? I
Yes.
told you, over at the Deck Bar and Grill over at Isla del Sol. It's a really cool
Oh,
beach bar. That's when Ray invited me
yeah.
out there. We were all on it. They were all on a different platform. And we just kind of gelled together. He ran through a couple of co-hosts. He didn't really work really well with them. And I'd like to say I feel like I challenged Peter a lot.
Oh, okay.
And we kind of we have that Skip and Shannon type of relationship when we get on air,
Right.
and let's just be honest, I just love to stir the pot a little bit, and I just
Oh,
drive him
yeah.
crazy. You've watched the
I
shows.
do the same thing with the wrestling segment with him. I
Yep.
drive him crazy on some things. I mean,
I love it. He gets his
oh, so
veins
do
all
I.
popped up. The views go out of the roof. But for the most part, on air we disagree a lot, but off air we're closest of friends. And
Right.
I'm his co-host for the Sports Web, and when I'm doing the over under, he's my co-host, or either Ray Kennedy or him. So it's a real close knit bond. But that's how I met Pete. It's been about 4 or 5 years now. Just good people and a consummate professional.
Yes, he is a very good person. Ray Kennedy is. I make fun of him all the time. I call him Homeless Ray, and I tell him how's the soup kitchen and all that because he never broadcasts us from his home or anything. So
Buddy,
he's like,
I'm telling you, man, it's unbelievable what Ray does. He'll get out there and mingle with the public. I mean, you should catch some of the show. It's called The
"Oh,
Cup of Ray. You
yeah,
know,
I do, I do."
he's
Yes,
he's on Facebook and YouTube. And if you ever get a chance to watch A Cup of Ray, a night edition, especially on a Friday night, and it's after 10 o'clock,
yes.
grab your popcorn because it's something you will never forget.
Wow. Yeah, I've watched him numerous times, and I always mess with him all the time. "What's the soup at the soup kitchen today?" and all that, because I've never seen. I mean, I never see him do anything except for outside broadcast. And then when he grew that beard, I said, "What happened? You forgot about Harry's or Dollar Shave Club or something?"
Harry's Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really
whatever.
funny.
Yeah, or one of them two. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, Harry, tell us a little bit about Tampa Bay's sports. A little bit. We have the Rays and the Tampa Bay Lightning,
Well,
and also the Buccaneers, as you know.
man, year in and year out, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they just seem to put this team together. They're very strong. However, with that being said, and I hope JP Peterson's not watching this, they're not as good as they've been in the past couple of years. And I don't know if they're going to be able to turn that switch on come playoff time. It's just this team seems to just to be a little bit slow. As far as the Tampa Bay Rays are concerned, you can count them out every single year, and they just bring these kids up from the minor leagues, and for some reason, they just strike gold every single time.
Yeah,
But,
they have a good scouting department because they're a low budget team like the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they
the
seem to get into the playoffs and
year
do
in,
well, in a
and year out, that team has been
yes,
solid. But this year, I think they're gonna be very challenged, especially what's happened, with the not the allegations. I don't even wanna go down that rabbit hole. Well, what
right,
that young man did over in the Dominican Republic and then
yeah,
losing Tyler Glass now and some other pitchers, you can't recover from that. But you know
yeah,
what? They said that a couple of years ago about other pitchers that they let go, and then they bring these kids up, and all of a sudden they become Tyler Glass now. But
yeah,
I think that I think the band of luck is gonna come to an end, of, acquiring these prospects and making them that good.
prospects.
Toronto's an unbelievable team. The Baltimore Orioles are an
Oh, the
unbelievable team,
Orioles, yeah, they
okay?
just, got bought or somebody sold them. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
they just
The
somebody bought them.
Boston Red Sox, they're regressing, and how about the New York Yankees? They are the Yankees.
Oh,
They spend
how
the
about
most money.
yes, they spend the most money, and how about the Dodgers? I said this to Mark Mancini, he's a big Dodger fan and this, that, and whatever. I says, "You know what, Mark? They keep going out there. They buy all these high-priced players. They have a high salary base
And they
there,
lay an egg.
and I was just getting ready to say that. They do it every time,
You know
and
what?
and
And
and I
that's
said
what
it to them.
happens.
Oh, yeah.
Ralph, it
Yeah,
happens in baseball, it happens in
baseball.
not so much in basketball. You can buy championships, LeBron, but,
Yeah.
LeBum, I mean, whatever, but
LeBum.
seriously, I mean, let's be
I
real,
like that.
okay?
That's a good one,
But
LeBum.
but like football, you remember Albert Haynesworth?
Yes.
Okay, and he signed that big, huge
Huge
contract, and
contract and
Snyder
did not
was just buying all those players to make this a super team. They
and
finished
they blew
last
it.
in they blew it,
Yeah,
and I think baseball and football, it's good to have some of your marquee players, Ralph,
right.
but you still need your every average, everyday Joes to do your job because you know what? When you have too many me type of moments,
Mhm.
as far as players are concerned, I
Right.
think it becomes more of about the player and a lot of showboating than anything. And I think that's what the Dodgers are going to do. But man, when you look at that lineup, it it could scare the hell out of you. But
Oh,
who's
yeah.
going to spend that many millions of dollars for Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, I
Can I
know.
ask you that question?
No, I
How
think
about him going?
yeah,
He's not going to pitch this year. I
no.
mean, what's wrong with
No.
people? I know. I'm
You
like,
spend all that money on players, Harry, and they just don't they do nothing or they,
no,
regress or whatever, you know. I was talking with, my producer, his name's Ryan, my radio show producer, and he has a podcast on called Two Dumb Yinzers. I watch it every morning at 11 a.m. on YouTube. And we were talking about it on the show before the show yesterday because I had mentioned about what's his face, man, top of my head I can't remember. He's a defensive lineman for the Steelers, not Cam Hayward. Okunjobi, Larry Okunjobi. We were talking about him. I mean, he failed the physical with Chicago, came to the Steelers at a discount, played well, got his big contract, and hasn't done anything. And I think the Steelers are going to be hurting in the salary cap this year. I think Okunjobi should either go or asked for asked to restructure his contract. They have to do something.
I don't know.
And
I don't know, but I think they're going to be pretty good this year. I don't
who
think this.
who, the Steelers?
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
do.
I like Arthur Smith. I predicted he was going to be the offensive coordinator. I hear they're interviewing Hines Ward for wide receivers coach, Randall L for quarterbacks coach, and
I think
Antoine Randall L.
I think Pittsburgh's going to try to evolve a little bit more to what Mitch Trubisky does, or those type of quarterbacks
Yeah.
that have a tendency of wanting to run first and then to
Well,
throw
Mitch
the
is done
ball.
here. His
I
his
know
salary's too high. He's done. So yeah,
he's either going to take a pay cut
or
and
go.
come back, or he's going to have
Yeah,
to go. And
he's gonna
quite
have to go.
honestly, he's regressed too much. I was a huge Mitchell Trubisky
I
fan,
was too, Harry.
at one
You
point, and then
know,
it's just, man,
when I watched him play at North Carolina against Pitt, he used to eat Pitt's lunch every time. And then I said, "Oh, this is a good quarterback." And then when he got drafted by the Bears, I said, "Oh man, he's going to do some stuff here." And he regressed. And then he was the backup up at Buffalo, and everybody went, "Oh yeah, Mitch Trubisky. He's a backup now. Up there." And he sat out for a little while and watched. And then when he came to the Steelers, I said, yeah, I knew he was. I knew he was coming. I even said Mitch Trubisky, and now he's the backup there at the Steelers. But I think that the car accident with Dwayne Haskins, I think screwed his brain up. I mean, I know you know about that. He was crossing the highway and he got hit by a car or a truck, and he
yep.
died. And he was coming. He left Mitch Trubisky's house because
Oh
Mitch
wow.
Trubisky was having a little gathering, his first year being with the Steelers. He wanted to meet with everybody. He said, "Come on down to my house for a week, and we're going to throw football. We're going to look over a playbook. We're going to talk about things, get to know each other, kind of thing." And Dwayne Haskins was driving to the airport, and he ran out of gas in his rental car. That I can't figure out. Okay, he ran out of gas on his rental car, and he was crossing the highway, and he got hit. I think that screwed up his brain. I think that accident happening coming from his house, that kind of thing.
Well, according to his parents, number one, you address Mitch Trubisky. It's not Mitch, it's Mitchell. Just
Mitchell
to let you,
Trubisky. Yeah,
I
right.
know because his mother's really weird about that. But
Oh,
yeah,
really?
that could be. But he's got a couple of holes in his game, and it seemed to have gotten a lot worse. And so
Mhm.
instead of ascending like he was supposed to, and he was really developing to be a good quarterback, he actually just leveled out and then just regressed. And
Regress.
and it was a shame. I mean, I remember the game against Tampa, he threw for 6 touchdowns,
Right.
and it just looked unstoppable, and he was in his element and moving around, and it just seems like every time they took 2 steps forward, they took a step forward, they
3
took 2
steps
steps
backwards.
back,
Yeah. Right.
and then everybody in Chicago, "Oh, it's Matt Nagy's fault, it's Matt Nagy's fault, it's Matt Nagy's fault." Well, the people in Chicago are probably still wishing they had Matt Nagy. 2 playoff appearances, and how about
Yes.
this? How about Justin Fields having more wins than I'm sorry, Mitchell Trubisky having more wins
Trubisky.
than Justin Fields. Very comparable type of quarterbacks, and Mitchell Trubisky was actually better at his craft than what
What
was
happened
Justin
with Matt
Fields.
Nagy anyway up there in Chicago? I've been meaning to ask you that
Um,
question.
Matt Nagy, look, if you man, Chicago's very passionate,
Oh,
very,
yes.
very, very, very
Very much
passionate
sports fan
city.
sports fans. Oh, yes.
So what happened with him was that they ran him out of there. They said he didn't know what he was doing. And Chicago always got it backwards. They hired the coach and then hired the general manager. Okay. Matt Nagy's not the one that drafted Mitch Trubisky. It
Right.
was John Fox who
Who
drafted
drafted
Mitch Trubisky, and then Trubisky was inherited. I mean, Nagy inherited him, and then
inherited
your next coach had to inherit him, and then they drafted Justin Fields just to fire that coach to bring in Eberflus, who now
Bruce.
inherited Justin Fields. So it just continues to go. I mean, Chicago hasn't. They have a pendulum of not being able to develop quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Harry, hold on a minute here. I'm sorry. Where you're watching Ralph Williams one-on-one here, my guess is Harry the Greek. Also, how'd you come up with that name, Harry the Greek? I guess you are Greek. And
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
did you come up with that name, or did Peter Blake give it to you
No, that name was given to me many, many, many years ago in
years
Las
ago?
Vegas from the Jimmy the Greek. Uh,
Oh, get out of
right.
here, for real! Oh my gosh.
I was going through Caesar's Palace, and I was hanging out with a couple of athletes. I'll leave them unknown. A very famous baseball player that's in a casino. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Right.
And I remember Jimmy was playing some sports, and
Uh-huh.
I ended up hitting a pick six at Santa Anita for a substantial amount of money. And he says, "That I guess we got another Greek in town." And ever since then, every time you see me, he says, "Hey, what's up, Greek? How you doing, Greek?" And I mean, what an honor, you know. But yeah, Jimmy was a good guy, but he kind of gave me the name years ago.
Hey, before I let you go, because I know you're busy, why did uh, Tom Brady leave Tampa?
He, well, first off, he didn't want to play in his final year.
Right.
Okay,
No, no, no.
and
This is a joke. Why did he leave Tampa Bay?
oh, I have no idea. Why did he leave?
Because Corn was a Buccaneer.
I got one for you. You ready?
Yes.
I'm gonna piss off a lot of Greek people. Why did Greek
Okay.
boys grow mustaches, Ralph?
Why?
So we can look like our mothers.
I like that one. That was a good one there. I like that. That was a good joke. Oh my gosh. Harry, thanks for being part of the program today. I really appreciate it. And we're going to be in touch, because I might ask if you could come on my radio show next week, talk about the Bears. I'm doing a 32 team marathon this year. I'm having somebody come on for each of the 32 NFL teams to talk about the teams. Last
More
week,
than more than
Tuesday, I
happy
had
to do it.
Clayton Truder. I had Clayton Truder on talking about the Atlanta Falcons. So, you
Good
know,
deal. More than happy to do it for you. And furthermore, I'm going to go ahead and give you the pick. Everybody loves Frisco.
yes, I know.
Love the dog in this game. If you can get money on the money line, play Kansas City. And if you don't like Kansas City, it's safe enough to say bet the over. Just bet
There
the
you go.
over in this game.
Well,
And Ralph,
my co-host Smoking Jim Frazier is going to the Super Bowl to
okay,
see it, and he said he's got his money on San Francisco. So I want Kansas City myself. You know,
I understand.
So we'll see what happens. Taylor Swift's going to influence him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So hey, you have a great day, Harry. Thanks for being part of the program. I appreciate it, and we'll be in touch, because I'd like you to come on next week on my radio show. I'll give you a time and the phone number and all that. So
Be more than happy to do it for you. And as I always say, Ralph, thank you so much. But I always close out my segments. Keep your
go
bets
ahead.
low and your returns high. I'll tell you what, brother, you can catch me on Facebook or YouTube. Catch us on the sports web. Ralph, more than happy to help you out. Love you, brother. I'll probably see you tonight. And
Yes, I don't know what Peter's doing yet with the turnbuckle talk. I don't know if Mancini's going to be there or what's going on. I don't know. I have to reach out to him.
it is what it is. But you know what? I can't do it.
So. What,
Can't do it.
wrestling?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't do it.
He's coming on my wrestling segment next week, because I
You
couldn't
have
get him any sooner.
you have a
So
great one, man. You take care of
you
yourself.
too, Harry.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for being
much for
part.
having me on.
Absolutely, you have a great one, Harry. Thank you so much. That was Harry the Greek. He's been on a lot of my programs. He's been on my radio show. I've had him on my podcast, and so Harry's a great guy. Catch him on Chicago. He covers Chicago sports as well. Also, he's on with the Sports Web with Peter Blake, as he said, and he's on every every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday actually is when Peter's on, but he has Harry on Wednesdays. So, and you can catch me tonight on with Peter Blake with the Turnbuckle Talk with me, with Peter Blake, me, Ralph Williams, and Mark Mancini. Okay, we have some business to take care of, and we'll be back right after these words. I'm here to talk to you today about sponsorship advertising at a low cost. 412-545-4317 is the number to call for low-cost advertising with RW Media Productions. You get Sports Corner Radio on Beaver County Radio. You get 4 podcasts. You also get 3 national shows on Blog Talk Radio. All that for one low price. That number again, 412-545-4317, sponsorship advertising. Hello, Ralph Williams here to talk to you today about Sleep Pittsburgh 8th Avenue Homestead for the best selection of affordable mattresses, day beds, lift chairs, futons, and more. Check out sleeppittsburgh.com for their inventory or call 412-462-7858. They also offer no credit check financing and a whole lot more. Sleep Pittsburgh for the best sleep tonight. Let me talk to you today about the original Hometown Pizza in Moon Township, right on University Boulevard. They have some of the best pizza you'll ever have. 412-264-4444. Call for takeout, delivery, or eat in. Go to the original Hometown Pizza today. Mention my name, Ralph Williams, and you will get a discount on your bill. Hometown Pizza, Moon Township, some of the best of the original Hometown Pizza. Let me talk to you here today about Mauda Heating and Air Conditioning. 724-201-0500. Mauda Heating and Air Conditioning. They have the best technicians to handle your furnace, air conditioner, UV lighting, snow melt, much, much more. Call them today, 724-201-0500. Mauda Heating and Air Conditioning. You can also catch them on Facebook at Mauda Heating and Air Conditioning. Mauda, you oughta call Mauda Heating and Air Conditioning. All right, we're back here at Ralph Williams One-on-One. We just had Harry the Greek on. Some announcements for you. Don't forget tonight, 7 p.m., Blog Talk Radio, 563-999-3740 to participate. Listen to the program or get on blogtalkradio.com, and you can chat. Now, when you get on blogtalkradio.com, they're going to ask you to become a listening subscriber. Push that button or whatever you have to do there. You become a listening subscriber. And what happens is you get to listen to my show, plus you get to chat with me live on the show. Tonight we have Marty Leap from Rum Bunter coming on, and I might have a surprise guest, but I have to check in with him to see if he'll come on tonight. All right. So it's called Pittsburgh Sports Talk with me, Ralph Williams, smoking Jim Frazier. And this is a second sports show, and we do two back-to-back. Tuesday we do the Sports Corner radio show. On Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM, 1230 on the AM dial, and also live on Beaver County Radio's Facebook page, YouTube channel, their website, and also on their phone app, and also on www.rwmedia.org, which is my website as well. Look, are you a business in trouble? Are you a business that needs a little bit of customers? Are you a business that's looking for advertising, but you don't want to pay a lot of money? Well, guess what? Call RW Media Productions today. The number's 412-545-4317. Affordable advertising. You won't have to take out a loan. Very affordable advertising. Give us a call or email ralphwilliams737@gmail.com. All right. Also, don't forget on Friday morning, 10:30 in the morning, myself, Ralph Williams, Scott Morganroth, JT Toth, the External Bum Show. We talk about bums in sports. We also talk about all different types of sports of what's going on in the sports world these days. And then don't forget, and that's on Blog Talk Radio, 563-999-3740 is the number to call to listen to that show. And that's every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. Mark it on your calendar. We are always there. Also, Saturday, 10:30 in the morning, Telling It Like It Is with me, Ralph Williams, Leo Haggerty from Amped Up Sports. Leo is a great guy, and we're always doing things together. Leo might even make an appearance on the External Bum. So with Leo, he's on every Saturday with me. We do Telling It Like It Is. We tell it like we see it in sports and what's going on in the latest in the sports world, as usual. And then on Monday, we have a doubleheader on Monday. And Monday at 11 a.m. is Ralph's Opinion, Blog Talk Radio, 563-999-3740 to listen to the show. Also to chat on blogtalkradio.com. Don't forget, if you want to chat with me on any of my Blog Talk Radio shows, you have to go on blogtalkradio.com and become a listening subscriber. And also, RW Media Productions offers production, which means if you want to put any kind of show on, I will produce it for you. Call 412-545-4317 or email me, ralphwilliams737@gmail.com. I will talk with you about rates. My rates are very affordable, and your show will be produced and aired on Blog Talk Radio. All right. So if you need me to help you produce it, I will do so. And that's another service that's offered here at RW Media Productions. I want to say this: these shows cost money, and I'm not begging here, but this is my dream, and I need help, and I need some sponsorship advertising. I have a few sponsors right now, but I need more. I need a few more to make the money I need to keep these shows going. These shows cost money, equipment, paying the streaming services, and all that other stuff. So this costs money, and if you think it's free, it's not. And I'd love putting these shows on for you. This is my dream. This is what I want to do. But I can't do it if I don't if I can't get any sponsorship and advertising. And here's the puzzling part about all this, everybody, is the fact that I'm really surprised that my phone's not ringing off the hook right now. Businesses out there are struggling. They need help. I have a media outlets for you, but nobody seems to care. No one seems to want to do this, and I don't get it. I don't understand. I've argued and fussed with some of these business owners, and people just, I don't know, they just don't seem to want to do this, or they've been burned on advertising from some of the other stations that charge thousands of dollars and nothing happens. All right, so we're getting back to Monday here, 11 a.m. Ralph's Opinion, a 1-hour show from 11 to noon. We talk a lot of different topics all across the country and around the world, and locally here in the Pittsburgh area as well. And then at 7 p.m., it's The Way We See It with me, Ralph Williams, and Bill Canada. We have general topics. We talk about a lot of stuff locally here, Pittsburgh area, a few things in the nation and around the world as well. All right. So that's my schedule for RW Media Productions. You can reach me on Facebook, Twitter. I'm also on LinkedIn. I also have my own YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I'm looking to get to 200 by the end of the year. I'm at 129 right now. I would appreciate if you could reach out to your friends, cousins, or relatives, or whomever, and tell them about Ralph Williams and RW Media Productions. All right. After these words, we'll be right back. Dirty car, why? Detailed by professionals at P6 Auto Detailing, New Kensington, Pennsylvania. Call today, 412-965-6578. P6 Auto Detailing. They are the professionals at detailing cars. That number again, 412-965-6578. P6 Auto Detailing in New Kensington. Today is your lucky day. I'm here to talk to you today about Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio, 45 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh, right up the hill from Steubenville, Ohio. Look, Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio has the best hay grain beef around, and they have some great package deals like the ground beef box for $95 for 20 pounds of ground beef. You can reach them at 740-346-5442, 740-632-2894. Email them at hillcrestfarmsohio@gmail.com, or check out their website at www.hillcrestfarmsohio.com, or on their Facebook page at Hillcrest Farm. Some of the best hay grain beef around, and right up the hill from Steubenville, Ohio. Hillcrest Farm in Richmond, Ohio has the best hay grain beef around. Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio. Ralph Williams here today to let you know that I am handicapped. I'm in a wheelchair, and I will not deny it. But I've had some recent inconveniences lately. So you know what I did? I went out and I reached out to foldandtravelmobility.com. Foldandtravelmobility.com has some of the best folding power wheelchairs. Look, do you not go to certain events because you can't get there, or you can't make it because you need a folding power wheelchair to put in your vehicle? Well, guess what? Foldandtravelmobility.com has the right model for you. Get in touch with them today. Foldandtravelmobility.com. Get on the phone, 1-877-GOTFOLD, foldandtravelmobility.com, 1-877-GOTFOLD. Let the experts help you get into a folding power wheelchair. Don't be sad. Be glad. Let your life get back in order. Foldandtravelmobility.com. 412.com is a website that provides you with all of the best information about any draft, NHL, Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, any kind of draft. 412.com has an e-magazine delivered to your inbox for $9 a month. And also they give you all the skinny and on all the athletes and also podcasts. Draft 412.com. All right, we're back here. Ralph Williams one-on-one. We just had Harry the Greek on, and I had to take care of some, pay some bills here. So anyway, I wanted to send today, the closing song is going to be about Toby Keith. You know, he passed away yesterday, or yesterday morning, real early morning. He had stomach cancer. It's really sad to hear about that he was in that kind of state. And I'm very, very happy that he's up there with the Lord now, and he's not suffering. And that's the interesting part about all that as well. It's really sad to hear about what happened with Toby Keith. And so therefore today, our closing song is going to be, we're going to talk about, or with Toby Keith here in a second here. As soon as I get what I need to get done here, there we go. All right. There we go. Yep. All right. Hang on. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Yep. There we go. All right, everybody, have yourself a great one. And it's been great being here today with the return of Ralph Williams one-on-one. Here's Toby Keith.
My old man, sad old man, spent his life living off the land. Dirty hands and a clean soul. It breaks his heart seeing foreign cars filled with fuel it isn't ours, and wearing cotton we didn't grow. He's got the red, white, blue, flying high on the farm, simplified tattooed on his left arm. Spent a little more in the store for a tag in the back that says USA. He won't buy nothing and he can't fix. With WD-40 and a Craftsman wrench, he ain't printed dust. He's just made in America. He loves his wife, and she's that wife that decorates on the 4th of July, but says every day is Independence Day. She's golden rule, teaches school. Some folks say it isn't cool, but she says the Pledge of Allegiance anyway. He's got the red, white, blue, flying high on the farm. Semper-Fi tattooed on his left arm. Spent a little more in the store for a tag in the back that says USA. He won't buy nothing and he can't fix. With WD-40 and a Craftsman wrench, he ain't printed dust. He's just made in America. Born in a hot land, raised up a family. King James and Uncle Sam. He's got the red, white, blue, flying high on the farm. Semper-Fi tattooed on his left arm. Spent a little more in the store for a tag in the back that says USA. Won't buy nothing and he can't fix. With WD-40 and a Craftsman wrench, he ain't president. He's just made in America.